All right, people, let's get into this last night's collision. So, solid show. They were in Detroit. And last night, so let me see, what do we have? The Don Callis family. Who'd they fight? AR Fox and Bandito and the Outrunners. Good match, fun match. Man, like AR Fox, that guy pulled off some incredible stuff, man. Like him and Bandito, like these dudes are really exciting to watch, man. You know, the Don Callis family is solid. Once again, Brian Cage, I don't know what happened with him. I didn't hear any story. I don't know if he's injured. I feel like that might be what it is because I haven't heard anything about him being released. And if he was, I think everybody would be all over that because anybody else that leaves, that's what they do. But solid match, man. Solid. And the thing is, they know how to put some humor into the matches. They know how to put drama into the matches where, I mean, it was just a solid all-around match. Now, the Don Callis family got the win. AR Fox got pinned. What's this move that they did on him? Some move that they did where they kind of hoist him up almost like that power drop, but he's in between the two guys. Anyway, that took him out. But it was a solid match. AR Fox is pulling off some incredible moves in that match. Solid match. Ricochet versus Angelico was a solid match as well, man. And then y'all remember Zach Gowen, right? So Zach Gowen is sitting out there in the audience. I think they said he's with his son. I'm not sure, but he was out there, and Ricochet goes out there. I knew something was gonna happen where he was gonna get his leg. I just felt it, man. So y'all know Zach Gowen got the prosthetic leg. So Zach Gowen's out there, and Ricochet is taunting him and talking trash to him. But anyway, Ricochet gets the win against Angelico. Good match, real solid back and forth. You know, I like when he starts smacking him in his bald head and everything. Listen, I had fun watching Dynamite and Collision Wednesday and Thursday night last night. You know, so. But anyway, solid match. Ricochet got the win. And he starts, you know, stomping Angelico out at the end of the match or whatever. And dude comes in the ring with the prosthetic leg and, you know, he knocks him down, snatches his leg off, then he takes his legs. Like, he's really being a real ass. Like, he knows, how that type of stuff is going to get under the crowd's skin. So he walks off with his leg. So now Zach Gowen is going to show his face next week, and he's going to, have a match against Ricochet. Okay. Who did the Dark Order wrestle against? Is the Dark Order versus, who was that? Was it Josh Alexander and Takeshi? Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, they beat the Dark Order, But look, you know what's funny? I don't even remember that the Dark Order is there sometimes, and then I'll see something with Ring of Honor. Or, this is a while since I've seen them in Dynamite or Collision. But so yeah, they beat them, and the Don Callis family is still looking strong. We had Danny Garcia versus Dax Harwood, and I don't remember who won that match. I don't even remember who won that match. I don't remember who won that one. I had to go get my son. Yes. And then I came back and I did play it back, and I'm here. It was taking care of stuff. I don't remember who won that match, but it was, it was a good match. Now Anthony Bowens and Lee Johnson, I remember that match as well. And Anthony Bowens, he won that match. He's been real intense since he's came back. And you know what, man? One of the things I said, and like I don't care if I offend people for telling the truth. And my intentions in speaking the truth is not to step on people's feelings. But if you in your feelings and you're too sensitive to hear grown up talk, that's not my problem. I said this, and I meant it. One of the things that held the Acclaim back, the Acclaim was on fire. One of the things that they did wrong, in my opinion, that wrong, and I say my opinion based on it being wrong. Okay, business is business, man. Okay, I don't care nothing about Anthony Bowen's sexuality. I don't. There's no man that I'm watching thinking, I wonder if he's gay. I wonder if she's a lesbian. I wonder if that's a tranny. I wonder. That's your business what you are. The fact that it was constantly being talked about. The movement was to break barriers in racism, discrimination. I got all of that. My thing is, why is it because somebody's gay, their character always have to have something incorporated where they have to show it? Like to the, oh, that girl, there was an episode where this female was interested in Anthony Bowens, and he says to her, you think I'm interested in you? Hey, lady, I don't know if you noticed, look at my tights. I'm gay. And it's like, okay. Then every time you turn around, it's a story, an interview, gay this, gay that. I'm like, bro, we don't care about that. You're like, just, this is wrestling, okay? Then you got to understand. The fact that you're trying to take the most feminine of guys and have a guy like a Brian Cage, any masculine type dude, where all of a sudden they can't beat these guys, these little scrawny, weak, and Anthony Bowens is not the biggest guy, he's not a small guy, okay? But Anthony Bowens, let him go in there and wrestle. Keep his sexuality out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Is Nia Rose, is Nia Rose character about sexuality? No. They tried to, Sonny Kiss did the whole biting his lip all the time, his biting the bottom lip and biting on his feet, doing little women gestures and shit like that. But we know that Sonny Kiss is a born man. We know this. And my point with all of that is, it's not even believable that Sonny Kiss can beat certain people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the more you try to sit and focus on, as far as you accept, you accepted this person into your company. So there's no discrimination there. It's not like you tried to hide it. It's just that why you keep forcing this into the storyline, that every fucking week we got to keep hearing about how gay somebody. Okay, what, bro, are we, you see, and this is what I was saying about AEW initially when they was doing that. It's like, okay, we get it. Because initially, nobody was thinking about what the fuck Anthony Bowens was, his sexuality and that shit. Nobody was thinking about that. But it just keeps coming out. And all these different interviews, like I said, back and forth, back and forth. It's like, bro, you're killing the character. We don't give a fuck about, you know how many people you think straight right now? You can find out, no, he's not. Like I said, nobody's sitting around wondering what you are. But the fact that you come out and you got this little sensitive, soft, silly, yet you're just destroying some of the toughest dudes out there. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, so let's take the masculine dudes and make them just a bunch of bozos, right? Make them a bunch of bozos. But let's take these little soft, little feminine, I'm all in my feelings, and let this make them world beaters. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So this version of Anthony Bowens, this is what I'm talking about, man. Nobody need to keep hearing about your sexuality and all that shit, man. That's your business. We know Nyla Rose, like for those who didn't know, then found out, oh, born woman, transgender. Okay. We get it. Stop talking about it. Like, you understand what I mean? Like, stop it's just like, we can use it. We don't even need to use any other examples. Bottom line, and the whole point was, if you feel like you're being discriminating or you're not doing justice to that character, let's look at it this way. Ever since Sonny Kiss has left AEW, what has Sonny Kiss done? WWE didn't take Sonny Kiss in. Sonny Kiss popped up, I think did 2 different events at TNA, and then disappeared. So if Sonny Kiss is still wrestling 10 times out of 10, what is Sonny Kiss doing? wrestling in the independent circuits. So, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, if somebody is, certain things people do, like Harley Cameron can sing. Harley Cameron can play the guitars, and it's like she's an entertainer, right? So they've incorporated some of those things into Harley Cameron's character. You understand what I'm saying? But like, do you want to see Harley Cameron every single week just doing the same exact things? Like, she's going to make a puppet. No, she did this was a Mercedes more than anything. There's like certain things, they get certain gimmicks and they stay with it. We get that. We get that. Like, back in the day, for example, one of the things that I didn't like is the things that a lot of you probably did like. Like, for example, when this guy did the worm. Remember, was it Scotty 2 Hotty? These guys had these signature stupid moves. Right? You know what they're going to do, but you fall for it every single time. It was just so stupid to me, man. You're going to just lay on the floor looking at this dude, and he's going to go across the moonwalk all the way to the back to the rope, then fall down and do this. I mean, I hated that stuff. I hated that stuff, man. The people's elbow was bearable. The 5-knuckle shuffle was bearable. But it was still the type of shit where you know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? You know it's coming. And I feel like when you use a gimmick move to set up a finisher, it just, it just takes away from it to me. And the crowd could sit there and but I just was never into that kind of stuff. So, I mean, certain things, back in the day, Adrian Adonis' character was like, nobody, it was just like, hey, this big, fat, weird, funny looking built dude, just like, they tried to make Goldust. It's like, is he supposed to be a gay character now all of a sudden? Remember how he was doing the little stupid sounds he used to make and all that? He was flirting with the Ultimate Warrior, and the Warrior said, wait a minute, freak. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, they just try to do so many things. They tamper with things. Orlando Jordan's character, all of a sudden, once he comes out the closet, now he starts doing little sexual moves. And it was just like, why, man? Okay, so before you came out the closet about it, you just wrestled. Now that you came out the closet about it, now you're no longer this ass-kicking tough guy. Now you don't let your hair grow out. You're winding up on men in the corner and all this kind of shit. It was just like, come on, bro. And this is what I'm saying. When you try to be too much of a entertainment company, that's the type of stupid shit that you come up with. So when you start incorporating the wrong things into your show, it's like, look, bro, nobody cares about your sexuality, man. I do not leave home. I don't go anywhere. There's no point in time of the day where I'm sitting up wondering what somebody do once they get out the ring or before they come to the ring. Nah, I just watch a show, enjoy the show, or I don't. One or the other. And I feel like they just, they did too much of that. Let Anthony Bowens, come out there and wrestle. Nobody need to know about your damn sexuality. Simple. For that matter, you could take all the straight people. You're gonna keep making storylines about somebody fucking their wife? Like, come on. So, anyways, he beat Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson put up a good fight, but Anthony took him out. Now, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander had a banger of a match, man. That was a solid match. And you know what I was thinking before it happened? Not like the second for like right before, but what I was thinking when they announced that match, I was thinking, when is Marina Shafir going to come out and get some revenge? Because they can't end this like that. Willow came out and helped FTR and Adam Copeland. She came out and she kept a couple of times. She kept Marina Shafir from interfering in matches, and so they went at each other at one point. They were going back and forth, and it's like, no, this can't end like that. So I felt like they were leading into a feud between Marina Shafir and Willow, and it's happening because last night they were going back and forth, and Marina comes out. Chris Statlander wasn't aware that Marina Shafir had interfered, so she came in there, hit a finish on Willow, took her out. And there was no dialogue afterwards. Willow was looking, so Willow knows what happened, but Chris Statler doesn't. So that being said, next week, either at Beach Break or whenever, there's going to be something said about it where Chris didn't know. She's going to and you see, these are the type of things where the other company would take something like that, and it would be more than just than it needs to be. Willow needs to know. Okay, Chris will find out what happened. She'll mention it, and Chris will know. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe they'll fight again. Maybe they won't. However it goes, this is leading to Willow versus Marina Shafir, which is something that I wanted to see happen, and it'll be here. Real simple. But that happened last night. Chris Statlander and Willow getting back together as friends. We'll see. I don't know. But it was another solid show, and you know what, man, this is something that people need to understand. Like I said in the last video, everybody that sits and wait for this perfect world to happen, they keep complaining, and you have a person that get mad at one person and take it out on everybody. Like, this is what I see too much of, way too much of. Resting, no. Point the finger at the other company. And this is something that a lot of people seem to just not understand, man. They don't get it. When we can't find enjoyment in anything, but we just love to complain, well, anger is nothing but self-punishment. Collision was a banger, and I'm looking forward to next week. But in the meantime, I got a life to live, a lot of things to enjoy and do. So no, I'm not, I can't wait to, no, I can wait, and I will. Got a whole lot of other things to enjoy. I'll save that for another video. But anyways, it was a solid show. Salute to AEW. They're doing some very, very great things right now. And also, last night we got a video package. I forget this chick. I know we saw Sky Blue. Sky Blue has a different look now. And I think that that's necessary, because especially when you're someone that they have a lot of faith in the first place, and they want to put you in the top spot at some point. And she's been gone for a while. So I feel like her coming back with a different look, that was cool. The funny thing is, and I think a lot of you they're not aware of this, there's a lot of things that I suggest, like, it would be nice if they did this or that, and then they'll actually do it. Whether I say it out loud or not, just things and then they'll actually do it. And basically, for Sky Blue, with the injury she had against Hikaru Shida, that's another one I miss seeing. Always love Shida as well. She's been gone for a while, and so her coming back, the fans will know. They'll remember Sky Blue. Whether she's face or heel, I don't know. But, this is definitely somebody I wanted to see come back. Now, when we start talking about Ty Mello and Ruby Soho, two women that just, that gave birth, and, they have been gone for a while. I'll bring them up because when you look at who's who and who's free agents, and everybody's assuming who's going to go where, it makes you think, like, well, where do they fit in today? Because I like both of them. You know what one of the funny things is to me? Is because, to me, Ruby Soho and Bailey kind of remind me of each other. And I'm saying that because there's talks, too, about Bailey not being happy in the WWE. Shotzi did a video and an interview, and Shotzi talked about how it's so annoying how the WWE will have you show up for work and you're sitting walking around and catering for hours, and then you don't even know if you have a match or not, just to find out that you don't have a match. Being misused and all of these type of things. So I'm going to save the rest of this for another video, but I just thought about that because they remind me of each other. And it's not that you can't have the both of them, but like I said, it's not about just having people on your roster. It's about having the talent there and having the creativity and the time to invest where they're not just in the company, but they are being used effectively. As far as Bailey being over the hill, I don't know that she's over the hill, but I just think she's not being used right. I think she could use a remake in her character for sure. I do think that. Now, what exactly this change would be, don't know. And it's not just to make a change. You got to look at, how can this character connect with the fans? And I don't know. But Bailey's definitely been, to me, just used wrong. And yeah, her character is a bit boring. I do agree with that. But whose fault is that? So we'll see how things go. Anyway, though, solid Dynamite, solid Collision. That's all I got for you guys right now. Catch you guys in the next video.